Talk, shop, pop, movies.
Ahoy there, this is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile, and if you're a convicted cinephile yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. On my channel, I like to talk, shop, and pop open, that is, movies and physical media. And this is yet another episode of 3 Favorite Criterions from my personal Criterion collection that I have watched. So like I said in the earlier episodes of horror and thriller, I do not own all 1,200-ish Criterion collections. Releases on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K or whatnot. But out of the ones I have, these are my 3 favorites of this specific category. And today's is science fiction movies. Yes. Sci-fi is weird. It's a weird genre. There's many different kinds of science fiction. It's not all, Star Wars and Star Trek. Just putting that out there for when you see 1 or 2 of these, I might be like, wait, that's sci-fi? But when you think about it, it is. But let's get into them. Number 1. Like I said, these aren't in any ranked order. These are just my 3 favorites that I happen to have. Is another David Cronenberg classic. I mentioned in the other horror episode when I talked about scanners, and that is Videodrome. This just got announced for a 4K, of course, because I already own the Blu-ray. So I personally probably won't splurge and get the 4K. This is an awesome release, so I recommend getting it once that comes out. I actually had the DVD at one point and upgraded to this already, so I don't need to triple dip on Videodrome from the same distributor. This one is number 248, so it's an older one. It's from 1983, and it is a swift 89 minutes long. As a friend of mine and I always said, David Cronenberg, if you can't get it done in 2 hours or less, you get your money back. David Cronenberg has some of the shortest, headiest, most intense sci-fi body horror things you'll ever watch, but all of his movies pretty much, at least that I've seen, are under 2 hours long, and a lot of them are under 90 minutes long, like this one. So he can pack a lot in a short amount of time. He knows what he's doing, David Cronenberg, so props to him. This is one of my favorite artworks, not just the cover, which is awesome looking, but even the back, the color bar spine. Mostly though is the spine of the actual case itself, looking like a cassette tape. See? Specifically a Betamax cassette tape. It's not a VHS. It's a Betamax tape, which I like even more. And it says, "Long live the new flesh." So if you've seen the movie, you know what the hell I'm talking about. I need to watch this again. It's been a while, but it is a weird movie filled with disturbing images, stomach vaginas, anything you want. Anything David Cronenberg can think of. Hands turning into guns. It's a weird one, but it's got a good beefy pamphlet, booklet I should say, in there. I recommend this one highly, but like I said, it's getting a 4K. I want to say it was in October. So if you haven't bought it already, might as well wait till the November sale, since it's coming out a few weeks ahead of time, and grab yourself Videodrome if you haven't seen it, or if you like weird things. Go for that one. On a different side of science fiction, from the gross body horror science fiction side of things to more fantastical dystopian future, my favorite Terry Gilliam movie that I mention in almost every Criterion video I do, I had to include in this one, and that is Brazil from 1985, spine number 51. So one of the oldies but besties, in my opinion. 142 minutes. This is a long one. There is 3 different cuts of this movie. The DVD set from Criterion is gorgeous. I recommend, honestly, if you just see that somewhere for cheap, just buy it because it's awesome. This is the Blu-ray. It has 2 discs. The other one had 3, where it included 3 different cuts of the movie. I think this only has 2 cuts of the movie, plus the supplemental features, which are ample. It has the 142-minute cut, which is the director's cut. The other one, the DVD, I believe, had the theatrical cut as well, which was shorter. I want to say it was around the 130-something minute mark. And then there is the infamous Love Conquers All version of the film that's only 90 minutes long. So they cut out damn near an hour of this movie for this horrible, horrible cut that destroys literally everything the movie's about. But it's worth watching just as like a case study of how important editing is to a film, honestly. And there's a really good commentary track on top of the 90-minute cut too, explaining the differences as you go, because there's not much movie to watch in that version, so you might as well just learn something while you're doing it. And it's got the booklet, the beautiful artwork. This film has some of the best art direction you'll ever see in your life. Something Terry Gilliam is always good at. Pretty standard sized booklet, you know, teaches you about the transfer and all that stuff that all these Criterions do. But Brazil is one that I'm amazed does not have a 4K yet as well. And if this did get a 4K, it's one I would consider upgrading, just because I'm a really big fan of the movie, especially if they went back and re-included the third cut of the film, just out of curiosity's sake. But yeah, if you find that DVD one in the wild for cheap, get it, because it is so cool. I really wish I would have hung on to it just because I love the packaging so much. This one, number 3. I do not recommend buying the version I'm going to show you, because there are substantially better versions to buy. This is solely for the movie itself, and it fits in the genre, and I love talking about this release because it's badass. And this is one of my all-time favorite films, Spine number 23, so very, very old one, on DVD from the Criterion Collection, Paul Verhoeven's original RoboCop. This is also available on Laserdisc, by the way. I love the simple artwork. When I used to like fart around and make fake movie posters on my computer as a kid, I'd mimic this style all the time, just because I thought the less is more aspect of it was beautiful. Like I said, this release specifically, it's a good release. Like, for its time, it's great. It's from 1998. This thing's 25 years old. Hence why I said don't buy this. But you should definitely buy the movie from, I would say, Arrow Video, in their 4K or at least Blu-ray versions, of which I have both as well. One of the few movies I have 3 copies of on different formats, because they're all so cool and different. But yeah, RoboCop, that's one I grew up on. I've been watching this movie since I was 5 years old. I love the disc art on it. It's so simple, but it's so pretty. I don't know why. Just the colors, that green color pops so well. Nice little simple pamphlet in here with the chapters and the DVD credits and all that. This recommendation is for the film more so than the release. But like Brazil, if you can find this sitting around at a thrift store, a half-price books for cheap, I just grabbed it because it's cool to have. I used to have this. I think I've owned this 3 times. I had it when I first bought it from Suncoast Video for way too much money when it was newer. When I first started collecting DVDs, and I wanted this version of it because I love RoboCop. I think it was like $40, you know, how they like MSRP Criterion DVD back in the day. Then I sold it a long time ago when I got the Blu-ray. And then I bought it again for some reason when I was very briefly trying to collect all the Criterion Collection movies, and then immediately realized this was a horrible idea and I'll never do it. And then once I had the Blu-ray and 4K from Arrow, I happened across this at a half-price books, and they only wanted like a few dollars for it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab it again, just because I like it that much. So those are my 3 scientific movies, science fiction movies, there we go, from the Criterion Collection, although I wouldn't recommend buying this one from Criterion anymore. But the movie itself is outstanding and deserves to be watched and purchased in the best possible format. So those are the 3 I got for you in the science fiction category. I know, I'm simple, right? Simple-minded fool with all of his movies everyone already knows about. But hey, they're the ones I love. That's why I want to talk about them. Once again, thank you for watching. Please check out my TeePublic store. Check out my other recommendation episodes for my 3 favorite Criterions. And I'll see you next time.
Buck, shop, pop, movies.